Hi there, welcome back to the Crazyhouse World Championship. We are watching blitzbullet versus Bugzilla. As you can see from their previous encounters, blitzbullet is in the lead 10-7 before going into this match, which is very important to the outcome of the candidates. Blitzbullet is in second place at the moment, and we'll be watching this match from his side. Bugzilla, one of the original gangsters of Bughouse and Crazyhouse from Australia, versus blitzbullet from America, the United States of America. This is an interesting situation. You might expect e5 here, but after e5, I think knight takes d4 is probably good for black, actually. And it seems as if Bugzilla has prepared something here. Just developing calmly, playing a3, avoiding any pins on this diagonal. Hoping that his extra space and better development will give him the advantage out of the opening. I find this opening by blitzbullet is it's a weakness for him. I think it's not on par with the openings that the best players are using. And after knight f5, I think white is clearly better. Threatening knight takes g7, and maybe pawn at d4 is coming. Putting the squeeze on black. You don't want to play rook g8 and then pawn at d4, and the position is just in ruins. Okay, so I suspect bishop h6. And this is very close to mate, actually. At some point, knight e6, pawn g7, pick up the heavy, and another diag on g7, and it's a mate in the corner. But you need two pawns, and at the moment, white only has one. But this opening it's a disaster for black. And white is picking up one diag there. You need to maybe go knight at g4, hitting the bishop here, but white has an extra bishop that he can put on g5 maybe, protecting the bishop on h6. What about knight at g4 again? Was there something wrong? Although this knight is sort of trapped on g7. You need to keep that in mind. And in case you play e5, you're opening for this monster on b7. Welcome to those of you who are watching this match. Let me know if you have any predictions. I predicted blitzbullet 6-4 before the match. I think blitzbullet will take this. So very critical position here. I'm not sure what to expect. White needs to keep the pressure here. What if you pick up the free knight on g7? Let's say bishop takes, king takes, then what? And blitzbullet is an excellent defender. He knows when to just put his pieces in like a hedgehog formation. And watch out for knight takes f6. That would be pretty critical on the dog squares. However, maybe h5 is active enough. And then maybe you can just recapture with the queen and maybe even give the queen at some point. He prefers to put this bishop here, pinning the queen. And if you can pick up a queen, then all of a sudden some knight check here on h3 could very well be the end of the game, because there are some other mate themes. This is still very, very dangerous for black. We should play h6 here, just to avoid any checks on h6. Then maybe pawn takes, queen takes, and if the knight takes, maybe you can go bishop takes, d1. And with the queen in hand, you're threatening knight h3. This is critical. Cheers, by the way. No more diags in hand. Surely this is compensation for white. But what to do? Keeping the black king nailed to the edge of the board, keeping this rook passive, shutting out this bishop. I was a bit surprised he didn't capture with this knight instead, and maybe picked up this bishop and then played pawn g6, g7. Bugzilla down to his last 10 seconds. Ooh, this is very dangerous. Counterattack here by blitzbullet. Hello, hello, Joanna. So both players combining defense, offense. Blitzbullet going back to defense for a little while. And this is secure, so you might as well pick up g4. Threatening h6. Let's get rid of this bishop. Putting pressure here on g2, threatening the rook. And this game is going in the direction of blitzbullet, I'm pretty sure. The black king is safe, and black has a very easy game here. Blitzbullet is not letting loose of his grip. He's like an anaconda in these positions. Very strong nerves. And Bugzilla has a strong neck. He's not getting suffocated so easily, but this is just too much. I expect quick resignation here. Blitzbullet just playing a few moves to show his supremacy. I mean, the pawn on c3 is just hanging, and black is up a ton and a ton again, material-wise. So this is just ridiculous. And quite demoralizing also for blitzbullet. Why is he even continuing? Just queen e2, put the pieces on the board, and resigns. I'm wondering though, I thought Bugzilla had an excellent position there. Let's see. D5 seems stronger, but this has to be okay. I like this idea. And G6 is very provocative, and maybe checking on G7 wasn't the strongest because that knight easily gets trapped. So this seems unclear. But yeah, okay, so go back to G5. That's the thing. And here I was suspecting knight at G4. The computer suggests bishop at. And what was wrong with this? Well, nothing really. Okay. So knight at G5 was the best move. And this is just super bad. Oh, he missed a chance here. Look at this move. Here, knight at H3 seems to decide the game at once. Both players missing a lot of opportunities here. Seems like black was way better for quite a while. Okay, let's get back. And blitzbullet is playing his usual kingside fianchet that he knows so well. Although I'm not entirely convinced by this knight. Where is this knight going? Giving up a piece. Seems like black is doing okay. Kind of like scorched earth here. White is missing one more die to crack the defense. So protecting f7, and this is quite okay for black. Quite okay. A ton of stuff in hand. And do you capture with the rook? Yeah, that's the natural thing to do. Now you might want to protect the f6 square somehow. Just to avoid any intrusions along the dark squares. And e6 is threatened here. Why did he need to take with the pawn? Was knight f7 a problem? And yeah, what the heck? Let him have the queen. He takes one move to pick up the queen, and meanwhile, black seems safe. White would need a knight for f7 to threaten anything. And meanwhile, black is on the attack now. And that knight looks tasty. Surely pawn f6. And this pawn is pinned, so not possible to take on g7. Black is kind of depleted here, but all he needs is to take the bishop, bishop e3, and white is done for. Notice also that this rook is threatening the knight. Well, why not take g4? Bishop e3 coming. Isn't this just winning for black? I think so. White needed to take on e3, otherwise he was getting mated, and simply bishop takes. This looks winning. You might want to play bishop h6 just to maybe pick up another extra pawn. But this also looks complete. Yeah, this is winning. Nice win there for Bugzilla. And what happened? This is fine for black. Black has just played natural moves, and this is another weakening. This is another weakness in the blitzbullet opening repertoire. Although somewhere around here, what was fine? Rook c1. Still fine. Still fine after rook c1. Okay. This is just a bluff. Nothing. Pawn f7 it's just over. And now all of a sudden black was back in the driver's seat. Okay, it's 1-1. What happened in the opening? He's playing his b6 line again. And I don't quite understand. Why don't you play knight g5 here? It seems so much more natural than the other moves. Hi there, Zixan PKNM also. Hej på er! Är ni vakna så här dags? So who do you think will win this? Queen d7. What is happening after c4? I guess Bugzilla was asking himself the same question. And this is not a big threat. Don't get nervous. You can always recapture. Think about your own attack. Maybe d5? Is d5 a move? Oh, he went even more aggressive. Bishop takes. Bishop check here coming. This looks like crushing. Crushing for white. Uh-oh. Yeah, that was my prediction as well. But at the moment, Bugzilla is in the driver's seat. Such a tenacious defender, though. How do you crack this open? So pawn takes. Can you play maybe d5 then? Or what do you do? Pawn d7 followed by d5. Something. Oh, this is the idea. Bishop takes. Queen f7 is mating 2. And this is a very strong look. It's forking the bishop and the knight. And it's impossible to take on f3 because of Queen f7, King d8, Rook e8, checkmate. And this is just the end of the game. No way to defend both h5 and c6. And resigns to 1 Bugzilla. Blitzbullet, you need to work on your openings. It's always nice to say something like that to a 2800 player, especially after half a bottle of rum and a few glasses of wine. So Bugzilla just playing natural moves here. You don't really want to take g4, opening the h file. Yeah, cheers, Joanna. And g3, surely capturing g3 will, with whatever piece, looks fine for black. So someone dropped a bomb on the white castle. All the defenses are gone. The white king is out in the open. And this is just super duper dangerous. Oh my. Pawn f2. Looking to get a heavy. Knight e3 instead. And you need to be creative here. Yeah, take e6. Just go all in. Try to create some kind of counterplay here. Notice that the F file is open, so taking D1 would be very dangerous. Just take C6, opening the F file. This bishop covers G2. I'm not sure knight E3 was the best move. And the board is really set on fire here. Oh, he takes the queen. Well, the pawn F2 drop. Close the F file. Yeah, pawn F2 first. But this is dangerous. You don't have that much as white. 3 pawns, a bishop and a knight. D5 looks tempting, because if the king goes in this direction, you can pick up the knight with check. So the king is stuck here on the king's side. You could go knight F5 and possibly take the bishop on. Can you take on G3? Looks a bit greedy, but at least it takes care of the knight at H2 mate problem. So he does take on G3. But this looks very suspicious for white. You let go of the initiative. Is there something concrete for black here? Why did he give up his queen? He only has pawns here, so you would absolutely love to have a knight in hand, but you don't have a knight. So you need to start jogging with your king here. And where is it heading? No place in particular, I guess. This is way, way, way too dangerous. But where is the mate? Blitzbullet trying some sort of Houdini tricks. This knight, I should mention, is covering F7, so at some point black might throw in a defensive move. You could go, yeah, just capture the bishop. This knight covers E6, so no dangerous checks. This knight covers a lot of important squares. So maybe bishop f6, queen takes, or whatever. Is this the idea? Take e5, run with the king. Oh, but this should be quite hopeless. Maybe f1 knight, or I'm confused. Can't you just queen here? Opening up the, yeah. This should be over. But the queen is hanging here with check also. What's this? What happened here? This is winning for white. What on earth happened here? So this is a forced mate. Oh, sorry. Was there something? Yeah, pawn h2 is better than this, but this is good for black. Nice defense. And rook, queen g1 just seemed maybe a little bit too tough, but it's good. And this is just winning. Rook g1. But this is also good. Knight e5. Winning, 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 winning. Pawn d4. Okay, so f1 knight. f1 knight. Much, much better. Mate in 3. But still. And here, why don't you take f5? Okay. King f7. I don't understand anything here. He just lost his head. Strange game. Okay, back to life. And blitzbullet is sensing that Bugzilla is just wiping out his black defenses, so he is aiming for another opening. And black has sacrificed. He's given 2 pieces for 2 pawns, more or less. So this should be advantageous for white, I think. Well, knight takes here is certainly a threat. White gave back some material, and who benefits from a queen trade? Is queen takes d5 strong, maybe? Could be dangerous. And why not pawn d4, queen takes, pawn takes c5, just looks hopeless, doesn't it? But look out for, no, there's no knight h3, because the knight is threatening, the knight is covering h3. I don't like this for black at all. Just looks like shite to me. Something diag on d4, pawn or bishop, doesn't matter. Maybe queen takes, bishop e4. Looking hopeless. I'm grabbing a glass of wine. So I was expecting rook d1 check just to bring the rook to a more active square, but this is surely the follow-up regardless of where you put the rook. Threatening queen checks on e7 and c7. Also threatening the bishop on c5. So this takes care of both threats, but maybe some diag here. Picking up the knight. This is why I wanted the rook on d1. So one has a very simple idea here. Get rid of the defender and infiltrate with the queen. Once again defending, but when the queen takes d5, there's a fork here. So is there a strong move here? You could go pawn c6 actually. Pawn takes, bishop takes, and if the queen takes, you have knight e5. And what is so safe here? What is so safe? Just putting pieces on the board, pushing black around. Black needs to start giving back material here, but doesn't help much. Two queens in hand. Queens are tricky though. Where to put them? So this check covers f2. Getting ready to take on e5. Watch out for the checks. Black is getting ready here. Ooh, what's happening now? Maybe rook takes, knight f8. Wasn't that winning? Rook takes g7, knight f8. Looks very winning. And this was winning too. I felt that black had some chances at some point. He was struggling the whole game with a super inferior position, and then suddenly close to the end of the game he might have had some chances, maybe. Knight h6 is made in 5. No. No chance. No chance for black. So what's this? Bugzilla just blitzing out the opening moves. He's repeating the same system over and over. And this looks like an opening trap. This is just bad for white. G3. Something bad will happen on G3 in this game. The question is, do you take... you could have taken on G5 maybe. Queen takes, knight takes... Knight takes G3. Well, blitzbullet has his balls to the wall at the moment. This is not looking good. So I guess you take and put some die here. Do you dare take on f4? There's no rook f4, bishop takes, knight h4 because of rook check here, picking up the knight. And maybe white will just take and play knight c5 here. With all these pieces defending the king, at some point bishop takes knight c5 might actually be kind of good for white. This is annoying for black. White has the momentum, and if you can pick up the pawn on e4, black is just leaving the queen hanging here. Guess you pick up the queen. queen? Or is he contemplating just taking on e4? I guess he is. So what on earth is happening here? White has some great piece play. He's ready to pick up the black queen. And as soon as he captures d7, the material balance is restored and might even be ahead on material. What a strange position. But this is blitzbullet in a nutshell here. Bugzilla doesn't have any antidote. Never mind the rook on f1. So I guess you just take c7. The black king is weak. The white king is safe. And I have a bad feeling here for the black king. Once you go up on the third rank, there is no turning back. Well, you could take c6 here. If you take with the queen, there is knight b4. If you take with the pawn or the bishop, there is knight c7. Taking on c6 looks strong. But this doesn't cut it, because queen takes, bishop takes, check. And you could go queen takes c6 here again, with the knight fork either on b4 or c7. Well, this is just over. Blitzbullet. 3-3. Bugzilla certainly winning the opening duel. But look, already here. Yeah, and bishop takes e4, knight at c5. This is good. Might as well just pick up the queen, but good for white. How was this move? Oh, that was very strong. Never mind. What is happening here? Is blitzbullet back to his b6 sins? Seems so. This is so ugly. So ugly. Threatening knight takes and bishop f7. And just look at the pieces. I mean, black is sitting there with all his pieces in his lap. And white is breathing fresh air. He just picked up a pawn and threatening bishop takes. I'll just have a sip of my wine and lean back while Bugzilla just obliterates black here. Hi there, Chuck. Jeremy Durham. So what was wrong with... Why didn't he take... Okay, so knight f4. Yeah. Not looking good. But neither does this. This is so utterly hopeless. Okay, yeah, just resigns. And blitzbullet needs to be careful here. That is his weakness. He's playing some way too generic moves at times. Here he's picking another move order, making Bugzilla think. This is way much better. So we have a double kingside fianchetto and Bugzilla is thinking. And here blitzbullet is on Mama's Street. Okay, so black is hoping to give the queen here for a piece and a pawn, but nope, that's not happening. And this is just... Is d4 hanging? No, not really. Knight takes, pawn takes, and white is... White is better here, I think. So let me see what happened here. He's taking on d4. That's gutsy. Queen trade coming. Knight h6. So this knight move covers h6. e4 is hanging though. And just take here, replace. Everything's mended. And even though it doesn't look like this is dangerous, but I think black could get into serious trouble quickly here. The question is, if you take on h4, knight at g3. Oh. So bishop takes pawn h6. Oh, rook takes f5. Knight at h6. Pawn g7 maybe? Because if you take with the bishop or the knight, there's a smothered mate. And if you take with the king, you have knight takes f5. Everything is pretty solid except knight at f2 is a threat. The queen covers f2, threatening to take on h6. This is wild. Black is protecting the bishop, threatening the knight. So black is looking to capture f5 and put the knight on f2. And what is white going to do with all that extra time if he's losing on the board? Uh-oh. That knight is landing on f2. And there's just simply no way to defend it because pawn at f2, you just take the queen. So black won a ton of material there. Blitzbullet is fighting for his life, but he's completely lost. Like knight takes g4, maybe. White has absolutely nothing, but Bugzilla is thinking way too much. And all of a sudden, white is back into the game, isn't he? This is so strange. Oh, rook e1. This should decide it, but keeping the f2 square clear, threatening rook at g1, and there's a pretty little mate here. Nice find there by Bugzilla, who takes the lead 5-3. And black was just better. I thought maybe white had some chances here. Pawn h4 is better. Okay. So blitzbullet switching to some sort of opening that I actually recognize myself. I play this. Bishop b4 is the move, I think. This just looks dubious. And once you put the pawn on f6, that's just way too passive. And what on earth are you going to... This is just bad. Oh, what a complete disaster. So maybe bishop takes, knight takes, rook takes. It's looking so weak around the black king. You might as well take e7 first. Yeah. Knight takes, rook takes d7. Threatening f6, threatening f8. And what do you take here? Do you take f6 or h6? You could take f6. If the queen moves, you have bishop takes c6. Yeah, I was thinking bishop takes f6 as well. This is not as convincing. Still, it looks very tricky for black. But maybe he can survive this. At least now h5 is hanging. Now that I think of it, it's looking hopeless for black. Forks everywhere. Yeah, probably lost for black still. And this, I mean, queen takes, knight takes here. Bishop takes, knight f6, picking up the queen. So that's probably what you need to do with black here. Let him have the queen. Yeah, just take h6. And now, can you counterpunch? Watch out for queen takes and some sort of rook g8, knight f6, and mate. Three rooks in hand. That's an unusual sight. Black is trying to counterpunch here. Yeah, what is happening here? Looks as if black is back in business. Or do you take f8, bishop takes, rook g8? This looks like mate. What? Rook takes, bishop takes, rook g8, king takes, knight check, king corner. Oh, king g7, king bishop h8, and the king is on the run. Rook check, king takes, knight f6, king g7, bishop check in the corner. That's the standard procedure in this kind of position. Maybe I'm too drunk to see what's happening. Because now the black knight is covering f6. Whoops. And all of a sudden, black is winning. Queen g2, mate. 4-5. What on earth was going on there? What is so winning here? Knight f5. Beautiful move. Winning, 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 winning. And here, rook at g8. I mean, this is so easy to see. I can't imagine why he missed this. Oh well, it's 4-5. And Bugzilla is just crushing blitzbullet's openings. They're repeating the same opening line. And this is good. Good for black, I think. What was the quote? Amazing quote. Well, did I say something wise or? Well, if blitzbullet can survive to a 5-5 here, he should be really, really happy. Yeah. Actually, it's true, quite true. But at least I saw the rook at g8, mate. I would have played rook at g8 in my sleep. No matter how intoxicated I was. So white has some compensation here on the light squares. Pawn for the piece. Should be enough. Very safe white queen, white king. Not so easy for black to break loose here. So black has this idea of probably taking with the rook and then with the bishop just to mend the light squares. Wait, why is putting pressure on c7? And if you can get your hands on a couple of pawns, maybe rook takes, pawn h6. Could be possible, yeah. He's going for the pawn at h6. With a double diag attack here on both the light and dark squares. This is interesting. Oh, just pawn h6, and what are you gonna do about the g7 square? Why not pawn h6? Wasn't it stronger the move before? So maybe rook takes, pawn takes. No, guess we won't see that. Okay, so knight f7 coming. And that king is not coming back. King takes, bishop f4. Creative play here by blitzbullet. You could also just play rook f7, I suppose. But this all seems very natural. And just doesn't matter how much pieces black has in hand. I mean, where is he going to put them? Still not much of a threat. So can you go g5, pawn takes, queen takes? Can you? I think you can, can't you? You have enough diags to mate. Pawn takes, queen takes, king takes. Yeah. And simply pawn takes, rook f7, king g8, rook takes f8. I wonder why I didn't take f6 first though, but not sure it matters. Should have taken on f6 before, so it comes with check, but I don't think it matters actually. Black is trying some desperate last resort here, but no, he's got nothing. This is less than nothing. 5-5. Very interesting match indeed. Let's have a look at the last game. How is this? It's in favor for black. White doesn't have enough. But it's not so easy to break loose here. And just one little slip here. And white is back on track. Knight f3 apparently was stronger, but this is certainly interesting. Pawn at h6. Yeah, why didn't he play pawn at h6 here? I can't understand it. So this just isn't enough. You should take on e6 just to get rid of the white grip. Such an interesting position. But I'm afraid that the computer is underestimating the white chances here. So look at the suggestion here, queen at g8, just denying any. But isn't this losing by force? Yeah, just give the computer a while to think. Knight at d2. But how is this? No, I was just hallucinating. Okay, but knight at d2, threatening rook at h2. And g5 is indeed winning. Taking on f6, much stronger, mate in 6. But this is good enough, because black has nothing. Okay. Thank you so much for watching and putting up with my poor comments. And let's watch the calendar. Let's see what's happening. Maybe I'll see you on Sunday. Zixon versus Clearcast. And has someone filled in the table here? No. Bugzilla 5-5. So this is not decided yet. Oh, someone filled in 5-5. Blitzbullet is down to 64% now. And Zixon hasn't played much. How about Bugzilla? He's played 3 matches. No, 4 matches. 5-5 also. I don't think this is going to get decided up until the last moment. Fumitox, however, in a firm lead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins. But he'll have to play Mugwort, Master Tan, Legion Destroy, Blitzbullet, Clearcast, and Zixon. And I very much doubt that he'll survive all those matches without a loss somewhere along the road. Thank you so much for watching. Let me just check if there's someone we can raid. That's always nice. Clearcast and Zixon. And I very much doubt that he... Is there someone in need of a raid? Joanna tries. We're coming for you. We are ready to raid.